Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being on the 14 call. I look forward to every single Tuesday night because we get to all pull together, hear from each other, learn from each other, and share our hearts and our passion and our goals. So, tonight is a very special night. We are calling this our Testimony Tuesday. We have incredible products, and I won't go into the products because we have all the links in ACE that you need. And we have Allison's 7 minute, we have Dr. Kareem's 4 minute, we have Dr. Bauer's 17 minute. And then if you want more, there's others as well. But it's absolutely, guys, I'm so excited about this year, not just for me, but for every single one of you. Every single person who wants to have more will have more in 2026. We saw what happened. We literally created six new $1 million earners in 2025. And guys, we're a new company. We haven't been around that long. And I was with the previous company for 9 years. We had four diamonds, and that was created a 9 year period of time, or not diamonds, millionaires. So I want you guys to know that where we are today is so big. We're not playing. And as you hear the guys say all the time, we're not up for debate anymore. When you're a part of something as big as what we have and are drawing the people that we are, it's time for all of us. We have the opportunity to make a choice, to do things differently. If we didn't get to where we wanted to be in 2025, that's okay. We can do it in 2026. I'm grateful and congratulations to our team. We now have 29,000 distributors underneath me. And guys, that needs a big hand clap because we are making such a difference. Our team is growing so big all over the country, in the US, in Europe, in Canada, everywhere, South Africa. So I want to say congratulations. Thank you guys for being here with us. So tonight we're going to go to a very dear friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, and this gentleman has earned six figures in many companies. He's earned not just in networking, everywhere he goes, he's a success. And I'm honored I get to work with him. He always is right there. He shows up every day and he shows up for the team. And I'm grateful that he's here. He is from one of my favorite places in Canada, Vancouver. And so, Mr. John Busswood, Triple Diamond, would you please share your testimony? A lot of people haven't heard you, and I'd love for you to just kind of share a little bit about you and your testimony of our products and the business as well.
Thank you, Karen. And I can't, right back at you. My gosh, I couldn't have chosen a better sponsor in the world than to have you. You are my secret weapon. You are everything. You carry this team in a lot of different ways and inspire us in every way. I have been around the industry now for 36 years. I've had the great good fortune of being able to attract some good people to my teams, and I've been literally at the top of the #1 Canadian or top income earner in the world with the major companies I've been with. We've built companies from $10 million to $900 million. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be $1 billion company, probably a multi-billion dollar company. That's the big picture I see for this. And Triple Diamond is just a stop-off place on my way up to Crown. Unless they come up with something bigger. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. I've had the ability to work with some of the finest products in those 36 years that were literally life-changing for so many people. And I've just got to say, you'll hear it in my voice when I'm talking about some of these with my testimony here. But this is the finest product I've ever come across. And when I heard Dr. Ben Bowers say that in 40 years of being in the health industry, over 40 years in the health industry, this was his greatest health discovery. And I concur. This is amazing. So let's get into it. So MPG Nation. I actually put out a testimonial about, oh geez, I guess about 3 months after I got in. We started, many of you who had been around for that amount of time would probably remember we were maybe a little bit misrepresenting the product because we just called it a fat burner and a weight loss product. And we really didn't realize the enormity of what we had in our hands. And it wasn't until we started getting hundreds and thousands of people on the product that we actually started seeing what it did for this, for other things other than, burning fat. Although in my first month, I didn't really see anything because I was looking for weight loss. That's where I had most of my big victories over the last 36 years. And then I decided, yes, okay, I will do what Karen said to do, which is get on the Me360 app and follow it that way. And because there might be a lot of hidden things going on that I wasn't seeing on the scales. So basically on the next 2 months, so my first 3 months, this is what happened. I was down body fat, I was down 8.2% in 3 months. I was down 19.2 pounds of dangerous visceral fat. I had a lean body mass. My lean body mass was up 13.2 pounds. And so that meant that I only would have seen 6 pounds on the scale. But what the scale didn't tell me was I lost 19.2 pounds of dangerous visceral fat, gained 13.2 pounds of lean body mass, which amazed me because as a 69-year-old man at that time, nobody I know at that age puts on 13 pounds of lean muscle or lean body mass. So I also lost 19 total inches. My pants were hanging off me. Everything was fitting just so much nicer. My belt from the fire department, when I was in the fire department in Vancouver, I was on right back to the very last loop on my belt. And then I started thinking, a lot of these testimonies that I've been on have reminded me of things that were wrong with me that I didn't really realize until I was hearing other people's stories. And because I've always been pretty healthy, pretty active. So let's just talk about that for a second. So this is what I call the rest of the story, because now it's been 16, 17 months since I've been on fix, 2 a day, pretty much every single day. And sometimes 3. It's amazing what happens when you actually activate the vagus nerve. So pain. Number one, as a Vancouver firefighter, I was in a nightclub fire, and I was injured, and I compressed my 3 bottom vertebrae on my hips. Lost about an inch and a half of my height. I was off the job for 3 months. And I've always had back pain. I've always had pain in my hips and things like that. And so I was taking a lot of ibuprofen, 2, 3 ibuprofen a day. Quite often I'd have 1 or 2 before I went to bed at night, or I wouldn't get to sleep. Okay, so I am now, 18 months, 17 months later, I'm now ibuprofen free and pain free. I haven't taken an ibuprofen now for 15 months. And that's like, I was going through a jar of ibuprofen pretty much monthly. So then again, allergies. I've had allergies all my life. I've got winter allergies. I've got summer allergies. I've got every kind of allergy you can think of: runny nose, itchy eyes. Okay, that's all gone. I've had an allergy pill now for well over 12 months. I stopped in 2024 November when I was in Hawaii, and I haven't had an allergy pill since. So sleep, let's move on with that. I track my sleep with my Fitbit and smartwatches and so forth. And, my sleep patterns were horrendous, probably because of a lot of the pain and things that I was in, but I am sleeping like through the night like a baby. On this particular picture, you probably can't see it. It was on my smartwatch the other day, 8 hours and 39 minutes. Now, 8 hours and 39 minutes. And then this morning I woke up and it was 8 hours and 2 minutes. I've never had sleep like that before this product. So I no longer need sleeping pills, because every single night I needed melatonin. I needed something to try and get me to sleep. I haven't had any of that for, probably the better part of a year and a half. Men, you can pay attention to this. Ladies, you can go get a glass of wine or something if you don't want to. Prostate. Um, so I didn't realize, but I guess your prostate can be surrounded by visceral fat too, which actually puts more pressure on your prostate for men. And that was another reason why I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, was because I'd be up several times a night going to the bathroom. Now with Fix, I'm sleeping through the night and possibly getting up once. I literally, my head hits the pillow and I'm out. Eyesight, something I didn't expect. I was, sit there watching TV, and I was noticing I'm not really watching TV with my glasses anymore. In fact, I didn't need my glasses anymore, and so I went to the eye doctor. I hadn't been for about a year and a half, and I only have glasses for distance. My right eye went from a point negative 1.0 to negative 0.5. And my left eye went from negative 1.25 to negative 0.5. So, the fellow who was doing the eye test, he was blown away that, now at 70 years old, my eyesight was actually improving. And, other things I found: less anxiety, clearer thinking, most of the things we've all heard about. Again, another one that I picked up on was restless legs. Gone. Anti-aging. I just feel better now. I turned 71 in February, and next month, and I literally feel better, healthier, more energy, getting more athletic things done, getting more work done than I was when I was 50. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Your results are probably going to be different from mine, I suspect, and hopefully yours will even be better. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share with you.
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, give him big hand clap, everyone. Guys, this right here is why we need to ask every single person, distributor, customer, what are you looking for? What do you hope to change? Because what John just shared, guys, that's life change. And especially, not that you're old, because I'll be 71 the month after you. But at 70 years old, often things are much slower. But for him to have that, that's just mind
My
boggling.
hair's getting darker. My hair's going back to darker color.
It really is. I was going to ask you if you got new Clairol color, but yeah, it looks great.
There's no Clairol in there. That's just me.
It is darker. It really, really is. So, guys, be sure and ask the questions, because in business and in product, we need to always ask the right question so that we know what they're looking for. And then you can go back and say, John, you were worried about your eyesight. How's your eyesight? What about your body fat? What about your muscles? But if you don't ask those questions, you don't know where they are, and neither do they. They don't know. They don't pay attention to where they started. They only are looking at, as you hear me say often, it's not always what you feel, it's what you no longer feel. That is the big part of Fix. So, okay, thank you so much. That was incredible. I can't wait. I'm going to put that on a gym as soon as we get this video uploaded. So now we are going to an incredible platinum leader. She shows up like every opportunity. She was just in Greenville, South Carolina. Miss Linda Vandell. She is a little powerhouse. She loves people. She loves helping people. I want you to share your testimony with everyone. And Linda, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your story with us. Can you unmute yourself? There.
I think I did. Am I good?
You're perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm Linda, and I live in South Carolina. And by profession, I still am a home care provider. But the client I was helping was really hard on my body. And I worked until I literally could not walk into work. And I had to take some time off. And I literally was home in tears. I felt useless because I couldn't help people like I normally did, and I couldn't help myself. And a friend of mine, a dear friend that I've known for 30 years, Tammy Young, reached out to me and she said, Linda, she said, I've got something that has literally changed my life. I want to share it with you. And I was feeling so bad that I think I would have tried anything. But I had been in marketing before, and I knew that if the product worked and if it did what it said it did, that I would be able to share it with everybody. So I went from feeling the worst I've ever felt in my life. I've been very fortunate, so I haven't had a lot of illness, but this just knocked me down. And in the 9 months I've been on Fix, I've gone from the worst I've ever felt to the best I felt in years. And I've got a list here because it has helped me with so many different things. And it wasn't immediate. I remember Tammy would call me the first couple of days and say, Linda, can you tell a difference? And I'd be like, no, I really can't. But in about 2 weeks, it was like a switch went off and my depression just lifted. My inflammation started to reduce. So I had horrendous sciatic pain down my leg, and that started to diminish. Um, and I no longer was getting up 4 or 5 times a night because I didn't have that inflammation, men and women, but it wasn't pressing on my bladder. And you all know what I'm talking about. And it helped that. And I had actually gotten a prescription from the doctor for my bladder. I went and made sure I didn't have a urinary tract infection. There was nothing technically wrong, but there was something majorly wrong. But I'd never had to fill that prescription, and the Fix alleviated that. The brain fog, the mental clarity, um, improved my mental focus like tremendously. Better mood. And I literally have a list of the stuff because there's so much. It's crazy. More energy. I would sleep for 10 or 12 hours and I would wake up exhausted. And I sleep maybe 6 or 7 hours now, and I feel wonderful. You wake up, my husband says, Linda, as soon as your eyes, pop open, your mouth starts going. I mean, I feel so much better. My blood pressure, I was on 2 blood pressure medicines, and I'm currently off all blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure normalized. Um, in May, I had a knee replacement, and that was some of my problems with my pain, but there was so much that went around it. It wasn't just my knee. But I had my surgery and I sailed through the recovery. Um, you know, I was on like knee replacement sites, and people were saying they hadn't slept in, 6, 7 weeks because the pain was so bad. The first day I came home from knee surgery, I was sleeping well. You had to get up, and I'm not saying it was perfect, but I think everything I healed and I slept better, and everything was better because I was on Fix. Um, and my cravings, and again, when you start looking and listen to the testimonies, you don't even realize what is improving, but my cravings for sweets and sugars, one of the girls had a testimony, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the grocery store and I'm buying more fruits and vegetables. And I still love my sweets. I'm not saying I never eat them, but my whole appetite my cravings switched. There's so much. But I want to say it was gradual. Yeah, I've been on the product 9 months. It didn't happen overnight. And, just stay on it. And the more you're on it, the better you feel. I want to share real quick. My husband and we did like a 60-day challenge, and we got on Fix and Fit. And we changed some things we were doing, but we both lost over 20 pounds. So we lost weight. And, I've had a shift in my thought of helping people, because even now I still do home care part-time, but I've switched from being able to help one person, because you can only do so much by yourself. And I've switched that to I can help dozens of people now, hundreds of people as my group grows. And it's just a shift. It's a shift in your health. It's a shift in your way of thinking. And I know how to work hard, and I'm learning how to work smart. And that's kind of my testimony. And I want to thank Tammy Young for reaching out to me, and all of us that have have a hard time going, do I want to call? What are they going to think? Reach out and share this with people, because Tammy changed my life because she reached out to me. And I just want to thank you. And that's my testimony.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you for sharing your testimony, but thank you for sharing your heart. And that's another thing that this company and this product does. It brings out all of the good feels from people, because we hear stories every day of life changing. And like you said, it's not a quick fix. It is something that if you stay consistent, you're going to have a result no matter what, no matter who you are, you're going to have a result. So, Linda, I thank you so much. That was a beautiful testimony. And I've never heard it from the beginning to the end. That was incredible. And I just want to say I appreciate you and thank you so much. So now let's move on up and hear from the person that changed Linda's life. Tammy has absolutely been a blessing to our whole company. I know what you mean when you say she changed her life. As soon as I met her at the very first event, I've loved her ever since, and her business partner, Teresa, as well. So we have invited Tammy to come on, Tammy Young, to share her testimony tonight. And I know it will touch your heart just like it does every single time we hear the stories of what our company and our product is doing for people's life. So Tammy and Teresa are a triple diamond, a double diamond. They'll be triple diamond next month. And it's just incredible at how passionate they are to change people's lives. And that is a result of why they are ranking up, is because they really do want to change people's lives, like you heard Linda say, and give people love and hope and a better way to find what they're looking for. So, Miss, where are you at? Could you please come on, Miss Tammy, and just share your heart? I thank you for taking time out of your day to come on and share. I love you, and I can't wait to hear your story. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Karen. Can you hear me? Can you see
I
me?
sure can. Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh, I swear I don't know if I can talk after that. That wrecked me. I mean, that's why we do this business. I don't usually get upset. I mean, I don't cry, but this, I'm so sorry. Linda, that was amazing. You just did so good. And I remember seeing that video of you before you started these products, how sick you were and how bad you felt. And I'm like, she's got to try this. And, just like Karen said, that's why we do this. And she wanted me to share my testimony and my little Costco story. So,
Yes.
like she said, Teresa and I are business partners. Teresa lives in West Virginia with her husband. I live in Tennessee with my son. And we've known each other since the 7th grade. And I actually sponsored her in another company in 2009. And Karen, you're going to get a kick out of this. Teresa and I were so competitive with each other that we decided we better partner together. So that's how we chose to be partners. But it was perfect. It was a God thing. And, we left that company. Some ugly things happened. And then we went on to another company. And with the bad things that had happened with that first company, it just really took a lot of air out of us. Even though we reached the top of both companies, we were burnt out. I mean, really seriously burnt out. And we kind of coasted for about 10 years. And in that 10 years, I lost 4 family members. And so I couldn't, I just couldn't do the business. I was really struggling. I tell people I was going from the bed to the couch to the couch to the bed. I'd retired. I was having to work part-time. And then I ended up having to move to Tennessee here with my son. And in March, I was looking for a job because I couldn't make ends meet. And Teresa reached out, and we've been praying. I mean, throughout this whole 10-year period, we were praying. please send us something that we can, work together again and lock arms with and help people and have fun, because we have fun in this business. And so Teresa called me one day and says, I found something. I think we need to try it. And it was this little bottle of Vicks. And what happened was, and I'm not making medical claims, but I was very depressed, had horrible anxiety, and I was one of those freaky fast. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. But, I have to really believe in the product. But within a week, now it was subtle. There were subtle things that, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. But in the first week, I noticed that where it activated my vagus nerve and stopped that fight or flight, I could relax for the first time in years. And, a lot of the things that John and Linda were saying, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. That happened to me too. But, I was sleeping better. I was able to focus and concentrate and go in the other room and remember what I went in there for, just concentration. So it literally, changed my life, got me out of bed. I feel wonderful. And that's why we started, sharing. And then about 3 weeks ago, financially, I needed this money. And 3 weeks ago, I went to Costco and I had to do a video on it because I'm like, this is crazy. It's been 10 years since I've been able to even buy a Costco card or, buy things in bulk. And it was over $400. And we were checking out and I said, I got it. My son's like, what? I'm like, don't tell him because I don't want him to know how much money I'm making. But yeah, and then went back again. And I'm like, and I thought the other day, I'm like, okay, this is January. What happens in January? I never had any money in the bank, never, from Christmas. So here it was January, and I'm like, this is good, I have money in the bank, we're paying off bills, and it's just, life is good. I'm sorry, my mouth just got really dry. But we're happy. We are so happy that we're here. Very, very happy. And we're here to stay. And my thing now, my little motto is, this is a legacy company. It's not going anywhere. And I heard Jim Denzine say the other day that we have a unicorn product. And I'm like, that's cool. So I tell everybody, I'm like, we're here to stay. We love this company. Karen, we love you. And I'm so thankful that you asked me to come on this call tonight. You have been so generous to us, and reaching out to us and helping us. And we appreciate it so much. We really do. We love you.
I love you back. Thank you. Guys, I have been in this industry for 35 years. I have never seen so many people's lives change, just like you heard Tammy say. I mean, to be able to go to Costco, when I heard that, I'm like, I get it. I've been there myself. And when I heard you say that and knowing that you got to go to Costco and you got to pay for it and you got to do the things, it's life changing. It's absolutely life changing. And you know what? You and Teresa are such a blessing to our company, to your team. And I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for bringing so much value to our company, to our team. And I love you with all my heart. And I can't wait. Let's just shoot for Triple Diamond next month because you guys are, in my opinion, are already crowned. And so that makes me happy to be associated with such incredible people. So thank you. Now we have one more testimony that this girl has been friends of mine forever. We've been friends, I think, since 2008, maybe. And she is from South Carolina as well. And I absolutely love her. Well, she's actually not from South Carolina. She's from North Carolina.
I was born in South Carolina, so you're right with that. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So, guys, I want you to meet my friend Christina Perry. She has made an impact for many, many years in this industry. Been a 6 and 7 figure income at every single company she's been to. She's just came on board with us and she's doing an incredible job. And Christina, your story is another life change. So if you would share with everybody what's happened to you in this short amount of time, I love you with all my heart and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Karen. I love you so much. And first of all, Tammy, Linda, it was awesome meeting you in Greenville. So that was such a pleasure. Sending hugs and love to you guys, and hate that I missed Karen because she was sick. But anyway, guys, I got to tell you something. Yes, I've been in this industry since 2002, and I just met Karen 6 years after that. So we've known each other for pretty much, well, she's been in a lot longer than I have, because she said yes a long time ago. I was in the corporate world, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this whole thing. I don't know what you're talking about. And I ignored it, hissed at it. And then 2002 was the biggest blessing. I was able to come home, be a wife, take care of kids, work from home. It's been a blessing ever since. But what I can tell you is that in all of my years in this industry, and I say this from the bottom of my heart and the utmost integrity and reputation, because in this world, that's what you've got, right? I've come across many, many, many products and many companies. I'll talk about company in a second. But this particular product, and we have amazing products, but this product fix is beyond what I have ever seen in this industry. The thousands, over 85,000 people that have just joined in the last 19, 20 months, Karen, because of Fix and what it's doing. The thousands and thousands of testimonials are unbelievable. And Karen said to me, have you heard of the vagus nerve? I'm like, what, we going to Vegas? Because I was one of those that had not heard. I was like, I really don't want to go Vegas. But tell me about the vagus nerve. Long story short, I trusted her. I came on board. September 9th is when I started taking Fix faithfully, because I'd gone on vacation, taking it faithfully. But I want to step back to tell you some challenges. At 61, going back 15 or so years, I was diagnosed with IBS. I had diverticulitis. It hit a couple of times, and Karen, I know you know what that is because we've talked about it. You've dealt with it. Where knots and things, just, between the two of those, that was not fun at all. 2015, osteoarthritis had already kind of attacked my back and was going through my neck. And I had just turned 51, not quite 51, had my right hip replaced in 2015. Unfortunately, when they did the surgery, they hit my femoral nerve. So I had a paralyzed leg for 6 months. Had femoral nerve surgery. I was starting able to walk again. Todd, my husband, told me later, he said, I didn't know if you're ever going to pull out of that. I share this with you because everything that I'm telling you is going to come around full circle. I might squirrel a little bit, but I promise it's going to come back. I promise. But anyway, so my right quad collapsed. If you haven't experienced that, I've heard some. I know Karen's coming up with knee replacements, things like this. But my right quad collapsed, which means it was flat. You could flat, and it never had sparked or anything. And I did as much as I could. In 2017, I had my left hip replaced. Fine, no problem. This is all due to osteoarthritis though. And I was still doing everything I possibly could, still trying to work out, working with a trainer, eating healthy, because I've always tried to do that. Fast forward in 2018, my husband, Todd, he needed a kidney. His sister gave him a kidney in 2004. I was incredibly blessed. It was a God thing. I knew it. Even when she gave him a kidney back in 2004, I knew I was a perfect match. Thank the Lord I was healthy enough that I was able to give Todd a kidney. And I'm sharing that because that's going to come back around in a second. But I was healthy enough to be able to do that. Fast forward from that, still going through osteoarthritis, the pains and all that kind of stuff. I was having major issues in my back and up through my neck. And on the right side of my neck, back through here, there's a nerve that comes in through here. I could deal with hip pain, even though I had to have them replaced. Had to have things done to my knee, my lower back, but your neck. And Karen, you and I talked about this. Your neck holds everything up. My pain was so bad in 2022, the end of 2022, I did not want to be here. I told him, and Todd would get really upset with me. I'm a strong, my faith is so strong, but when pain is that horrific, you're like, just take me out. I just wanted to run my car into the tree. And I just wanted to not be here. It was that bad. And I'm not being dramatic. That's how bad The pain was in my neck. I had ablation done, which they go in and they basically cauterize a nerve. So for 2 years, I was good. But guess what nerves do? They happen to grow back. So the pain was coming back horribly. So remember, I said I started this faithfully September the 9th. I told Karen, I said, I'm going to do everything I can because I love this. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be difficult with the pain that I'm going through. I had ablation set for October the 16th of 2025, and October the 15th, I canceled that surgery. I called Dr. Williams and I said, Dr. Williams, I don't need to come in. The pain is gone. I can move I don't have this. Praise the Lord, because I'm going to tell you, it comes from the Lord. This is coming from God. This is a God-made miracle. Gets our bodies back in homeostasis. Guess what happens then? Gives our bodies the ability to heal. I'm not quite done. Remember, I talked about my right quad that had collapsed. I had been going to the gym since I think I joined like the middle of August. I was working out other parts of my body because I was just really trying to get things back. I was like, okay, if I can get in there, get my core, if I can get things going. About the same time of the ablation, probably 6 weeks later, all of a sudden that was canceled, and I noticed the firing in my right quad. That may not mean a lot to most, but when you have a flat leg, embarrassed to even walk in a pair of shorts because everything is sagging, your quad starts moving and you're feeling strength. There is nothing more powerful, more satisfying, more tears that come out of the joy of being able to bring all this back. My IBS, I have no symptoms. My diverticulitis and the knots from the IBS, the diverticulitis in the lower left, I've had no issues with that. So to me, this is a miracle. And why did I talk about my husband's kidney? Because at the beginning of March, I'm going back because I also researched about what happens when the vagus nerve is activated. How can it possibly help? And then I found out that Dr. Bowers actually talked about this. I cannot wait to have my blood work done. You were hearing about blood work from John in the beginning. Amazing. I cannot wait to see, because the last time I had it, I have one kidney that was working at 45%. I can't wait to come back and see what's going to happen, because I truly believe in my heart of hearts this is going to truly increase my GFR, the function rate. And by the way, the older we get, doesn't matter if you have one kidney or two, your function rate starts to decrease. So I'm telling you, this is so powerful. And I want to say something that Karen said to me. For those of you that are listening in, for those of you that have been here and saying, well, I'm not really feeling anything, Karen said to me, she said, Christina, sometimes it's not what you feel, it's what you don't feel. And that is what is so powerful about this. I want to touch on one thing from a business standpoint, doing this since 2002. I was blessed to be able to get on with Karen, Terry, and Randy, the owner. And I know because we've had our own business. I've opened up, international countries. We've had our own product. And I asked Randy, we talked about so many things. And I said, Randy, what? This is a binary. So what are we paying out? What, like 35 to 40%? And he just went, Karen didn't. And he got in that camera and he said, Christina, no, we are able to pay out between like 55 and 60%. I'm like, how? He said, we own everything. Do y'all realize our FOVIC over in New Zealand? We own that land. We own the machinery. We own everything. There is no third party that we are paying that most all companies do. And you know what he's doing? He is giving that back to all of us for doing what? Our moral obligation to share this with everyone we know. With that, Karen, I love you. And thank you for loving me and believing in me to say, Christina, you've got this in you again. And thank you so much. I love you. Back to you.
I love you too. Wow. Guys, how do you How does this happen? How have you ever been with a company where you hear such life-changing stories? Like I said, I've been in this industry since 1990. Guys, I've never been in a company that helps so many people change their life dramatically with better health and finances. As I said at the beginning of the call, there were 6 people in our company that earned $1 million. The company I was with previously, I was there 9 years. I earned 2.4 million, but it took me 9 years to do it, not a year. And every single one of you on this Zoom have that same opportunity to earn a significant amount of money. Because you know what? Scripture says he wants us to prosper. So let's take it for what it says and let's just all do that. So I'm going to close this with Candace. Can you put up the screen for a minute? Because guys, the stories that you heard tonight are powerful. The stories are what creates and drives the opportunity. And I'm going to talk to you very quickly about, we're going to do a contest. But before I say that, make sure you write down next Tuesday night for the Zoom, for the 14 Zoom, because as you all remember, the incredible, my precious friend, Rose Parma, pastor, Mama Nine, missions, wife, leader, you name it. She's that girl. And I love her with my whole heart. And she has poured into us. Last month, she poured in to us talking about taprooting. I'm not sure what the topic will be, but I can assure you of this. You will not leave the Zoom the way you come on it. So make sure you put that down. Make sure you invite at least 12 people to that Zoom, because guys, it's so important for all of us to be able to do the things that we need to do to make things happen. How many times have we heard people say, you have to have 1,000 people here and 1,000 people there? Well, I want to tell you a little secret. You really have to. I'm going to encourage you guys, starting February the 1st, finish out the month strong. February the 1st, we're going to be starting a brand new Get Your 12. I don't care if it's new ones or if it is your personals, but every single platinum you get your name in a bowl. And we're going to have a drawing for Valentine's Day. For Valentine's Day, we're going to have a drawing and we're going to be giving away a brand new Coach tote. So you can take it to your next event. And it's beautiful. It is, it's for your computer. You have a Coach bag that, guys, you can give it to your wife for Valentine's Day. But that is the gift that we're going to be giving away on Valentine's Day. And so you get platinum, you get your name in the bowl. If you get 10 personal platinums, you get 10 names, your name in the bowl 10 times. So it's simple, it's easy, and you guys deserve to be awarded not just with a gift, a new Coach bag. It's beautiful, but I want to gift it to you all. And here is the importance of why I always focus on 12. When you go out and you get 12 guys, every single one of you should be earning at least $10,000 a month. Now, don't say that lightly. I mean it. If you're working, you should be making a minimum of $10,000 a month. All you have to do is get your 12 people that are willing, and you ask the right questions. What are you looking for? What do you want to accomplish? Tell me what we can do to help you with your health. All the things. Ask the right questions. Find 12 new people. If the 12 people you have already are duds, get 12 more. Love on them. Let them be where they are, but get 12 more. Because all you really need to ever be teaching people when they come on board with you First thing, how do I make money? I want to help you to identify a couple dozen people. And I always ask that. Do you know a couple dozen people that would like to make an extra $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 a month? I'm sure we all do, right? Of course. We all know people, including ourselves. When I came here, I wanted to make an extra $5,000 a month play money. Well, I kind of passed that. So I didn't stop. I decided to put something together so that I could help more people, just like all of you are doing right now. So, but I'm going to go over this really quick. But when you get your 12 guys, and you teach those 12 to do the very same thing, guess what? Now you have 144 people on level 2. 144. All you did was bring in 12 people, but you taught them the importance of getting 12 themselves. And guess what? That 144 people, what do you teach them? The very same thing. Find your 12 people. Help them because, guys, if you know a couple dozen people, yes, but maybe there's 12 people that you can identify out of that couple dozen that will do what you're willing to do. And you can work beside them, along with them, so that they can have the success. When that 144 people, just find 12. That's 1,728 people. Guys, 12 people. I've been talking to Justin. I said, Justin, we need to find something. I said, how about we get 12 people? And he didn't agree to this, but I was going to tell you what I said. Get 12 people and help them to get 12, and then they get their 12, just 3 levels. Let's do it in 12 days and give them $1,200. Let's do something. Let's do something fun. So, guys, that is what will create $10,000 a month. Because let's say it's a perfect world and you just divide it in half, put half of the people over here and half of them over there. You have 942 people doing, this one says 100 CV. That's not right, Kindle. It's 50 CV. And then you make $10,000. You make 9,420. But that's not counting your check match. It's not counting your fast start. I wanted to focus just strictly on 50 CV. But if you do 100 and you order 2 products, then guess what? Now you're making 20,000. You don't have to do more than 12. It's still 12. But if you want to make 10,000, you teach 50 CV. If you want to make 20,000, you teach 100 CV. And I know with the power of all of the products that we have, nobody orders one product. We order Fix, we order Fit, we order Fulvic, we order 125 Drive, we order so many things. So guys, coffee, Java, the best. I love it. Wakes your head up, makes you feel so smart. And so, guys, we are at the perfect place to change a lot of people's lives. And I just want all of us to be able to identify the people that want more. Focus on them. They look up to you for help. Don't just enroll people and hope that they get it. Enroll people and give them a proven plan, just like this one you're looking at. Screenshot it if you need to, and look at it every day, and then you can get your 12 people. Pay attention because it works every single time. So with that, guys, I loved this 45 minutes, 50 minutes that we have been on. It has been absolutely life-changing, and I know every story blessed you. So let's just give everybody a big happy hand clap here. And we will see you next Tuesday with the one and only, my precious friend, Pastor Rose Parma. So bring your people, bring at least 12 people. We're in